Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If not, welcome back. So essentially the premise of this video is it's going to be completely uncut and raw. I'm just going to be sitting here playing the video game and telling you about my thoughts as they go along. And I'll be speaking to you as though you're my younger self, a close family friend, somebody I care about and actually want to relay this information to. And so, essentially I think back to when I was a little bit younger and a skill that I wish I maybe was a little bit better at. And that's just general resourcefulness. That's just the ability to see a problem and come to a solution, to have enough ideas in the bank to be able to make a sound decision that I'm happy with and have no regrets in the matter. Here, give me 1 second. And it's something that's easier said than done, and it's something that takes a lot of effort. And even now, there's times where I struggle. There's times where I can't think of the solution, or I just simply don't have enough experience to know what to do in a given situation. But more often than not, I've dealt with enough random things, and I've flexed the muscle that is resourcefulness enough to have a general idea. And so essentially you might be asking me at this point, like, okay, like, you've said resourcefulness like 10 times, but like, what is that? Well, that's just simply your ability to find information, to basically Google it, to look for it in books, to ask somebody to not give up and actually find the solution to your problem. And the reason that I say it's a muscle is because it's something that we all have inherently, and for some of us, they're stronger than others. Everybody has a genetic predisposition to different things, but it's something that we can all work on, and it's something we can all gain. And so essentially, how do you gain the muscle? How do you flex it? How do you grow it? You do this by essentially using it. You do it by going into a situation with some sort of intent. When you face a problem that you don't know the solution to, you intentionally think to yourself and you say, okay, like, let me sit back, let me collect my thoughts, let me, do my due diligence, research this, actually come to a conclusion aided by like I said, my own research, and actually put in the time to come to a solution. And by doing this, you build up a bank, essentially a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of situations that you've gone through, where you were actually put in the mental effort to find a solution that made coherent sense. And so next time you get into a problem, it's going to take you less resourcefulness in a sense. Like, you're not going to have to go and search far and wide for your solution. Like, maybe you just know at this point. Maybe it's a similar pattern to one you've already faced. It slowly but surely becomes easier. You become stronger, in a sense. Like, if it was that muscle, you can now curl more weight, or the same weight, if it's the same type of struggle, is now easier to curl. It's now easier to handle. And so, there's a number of ways to find this information. There's another number of ways to flex your resourcefulness, but I think one of the greatest ways that I found is simply just books. I think that for, thousands of years, for pretty much the grand majority of human history before the Industrial Revolution, the dawn of the internet and the information age, a lot of humans that have lived, that have had problems, that have gotten through life one way or another, decided to write down their thoughts, these things called books. And I think, it's easy to say, oh, I don't want to read. I don't want to put in the time or the effort to look at this information. But you're pretty much just doing a disservice to yourself. You're cutting off a large majority of humankind's knowledge, because you simply don't want to put in the time to read something. And by reading, you gain knowledge, and knowledge is power. Like, believe it or not, that is a very true quote. Knowledge is power. Knowledge gives you the ability to see a situation, um, and know what to do, to take the guesswork out in a sense. Knowledge is, knowledge is having been in a freaking box fight a million times, with materials, and knowing how to edit the wall. Um, it you're just better for it. You can never have too much knowledge. Um, you can spend too much time gaining knowledge for sure, and that's another debate. Because, knowledge without action is absolutely useless. If you know everything but you do nothing, then what's the purpose? But like I said, whole nother topic of conversation. One sec, let's see if I can kill this guy or if I'll get sent back to the lobby. No such luck. But yeah, knowledge is that power that allows you to make an informed decision the next time around, to be more confident in yourself, to know that you're headed in the right direction. Without knowledge, there's a lot of second guessing that occurs, a lot of inability a lot of paralysis, I should say. And so, back to my main point, by reading books, by taking part in a human tradition that is passed down for thousands of years, you're allowing yourself to gain that power, and to be stronger for it. And so, like, you don't go into a video game, or I guess an easy example would be like a chess match, and expect to beat a good player at it, or a grandmaster, I guess in this case, although the majority of players probably are not grandmasters. So maybe just somebody who's better than you. You don't expect to beat them in a game, if you haven't even read the rules. You have to take the time to read the rules, to learn through other humans' experiences, to see what's been tried before, what is tried and true, what is not, in order to actually to play the game, and to not waste your time reinventing the wheel, and basically saying like, I guess what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of trial and error and a lot of time that you can save yourself, simply by reading. I think that's my ultimate point, is that you should take advantage of this treasure trove, this freaking golden loot llama that's in front of you, and you should take advantage of it to the fullest extent, no matter what. You should, and you can get good at it. You can get good at things like reading, if you're willing to spend, just a freaking 30 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day even. Your reading speeds will increase. You'll become much faster at it. What felt arduous and taxing will start to feel reinvigorating and energizing. Like, it does not have to be painful. It's painful in the beginning, as with anything, because that's just the nature of change and of humankind and of literally anything we do. It's painful until it's not. And so you have to have the ability to get through the beginning phase, to read the book when you don't want to read it, to start consuming the content, and then you will slowly but surely get better at it. You will slowly but surely feel less pain when doing it. It's really that simple. And so the best thing that you can do, in my opinion, is just get started today, start flexing that muscle. Next time you face a challenge and you don't know what to do, really go out of your way to put in the due diligence and do the research. Really just get after it in a sense. And yeah, most importantly, get started today. There's no time like today. Today, in my belief, is literally the only day you have. Every other day is completely fake. And you might be saying like, no, like I will be here, you know, next week, tomorrow even. Like, how can today be the only real day? Um, but I guess the reason I say that is because you're gonna go to sleep, you're gonna wake up, and it's going to be tomorrow. But tomorrow will really just be today all over again. And all we have control over is the present moment. And so our power is found in staying present, staying in this moment, and acting today. Because if you don't act today, then it's going to be tomorrow and you won't have done anything. And if you continue not to act today, then after, you know, 7 tomorrows, it's been a week, freaking 52 weeks of tomorrows, and you've had a whole year pass. And I mean, assuming you have a pulse and you're breathing and you've experienced time before, you know that it goes pretty quickly. And if you keep putting stuff off until tomorrow, well, soon you'll be freaking 80 years old and you'll have nothing to show for anything. So by starting today and believing that today is the only day, you can really get ahead. You can really be present. The majority of people are living in tomorrow, a place that doesn't exist. So get back today and do what you need to do. And watch yourself evolve into a better person over time. You know, do what others won't to live how others can't, I think is the saying I'll leave you with on that note. But yeah, I don't know. You know, I don't necessarily have all the answers. These are my, you know, my philosophies and my ideologies and the things that I believe and that have been truly helpful throughout my life. Thus far, that have shaped my perspective and allowed me to become an individual that I am. And so, you know, you're free to debate me in the comments and tell me if you agree with my, you know, what I think of today and tomorrow and every other day. You know, I'm curious on your all's thoughts. But, yeah, that is the matter. So, yeah, I guess to tie that all back together, being resourceful is incredibly important because you will be able to solve challenges and problems easier and quicker. You'll move through life faster, and not in a bad way, just like you won't be stuck on the challenges of today. And then you gain resourcefulness by gaining knowledge, and knowledge is really easily gained through reading books. And the more you read, the more knowledge you'll have. The more knowledge you have, the more powerful you are because you've seen that situation before, or at least read about it. You know somebody that's experienced it, things like that. And then you want to get started today because today is the only day that you have to do it. And, you know, today will be back tomorrow, but tomorrow doesn't exist. And like I said, if you have any questions on that, you know, feel free to let me know below and I can try and answer them as best as possible. But, yeah. Holy moly. It's like I can't catch a break. That's fine though. I'm gonna just try and win this game out. If I have any more thoughts, I'll, you know, say them, but for now that's what I'm thinking. And, you know, I can't expect to have complete thoughts on the matter every single time. Where the heck did this go? Huh? So confused. Oh, hey. My inventory is so glitched. I genuinely do not understand. Welcome to the new chapter. More bugs than before. Dash Fortnite. I don't know. If you guys have topics or things you'd like me to discuss or things of that nature, you know, comment them below. More than happy to. It'll make my life easier even to not have to come up with all the concepts on my own. But you know, I do just try to think back to me as a younger man and the things I kind of wish that somebody would have told me before. And yeah, I really cannot harp on the reading enough. It's something that I wish I would have started so much sooner. It's something that's been incredibly worthwhile for me. And I also wish I understood the notion of today and tomorrow a lot faster, because it really would have stopped a lot of inaction in my own life and allowed me to pursue goals at a faster pace, and recognize that my time was limited, and that if I didn't get start today, then I may never start. And so, you know, if you take nothing else away from this, take that and really put it into practice. Remind yourself daily and do it daily. And again, like I said, knowledge without action is absolutely freaking useless. You could know everything, and if you never take any action, then nothing, and I mean nothing, will ever change. But knowledge plus action equal wisdom. And with that, you really have something. Does that? Oh my god. It's so frustrating just getting third party. Oh, there you go.